Cardano currently up around 12% in the last 24 hours, leading the cryptocurrency markets. Could this be continuation? Is there immediate resistance at this very price point as I do this video? What you need to look out for in the next 24 hours, that is what we will be discussing in this video. And what I want to do is skip the intro and jump right in. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for coming by Crypto Capital Venture. This is a Cardano update. Let's just jump into price talk. Let's just do it. Before I do, I want to reiterate something very important that I said in this video last week. So let's take a quick look. But with where Cardano is right now in terms of price, Coinbase staking Q4 for Cardano. We know what Tezos did. We can use that data for a speculative video like this. And we can say 300% gains brings us to around 48.50 cents in the Cardano price. That is not to mention everything else Cardano has on its roadmap, and that is especially not to mention crypto markets in general. So how do we get there? How does Cardano get there? If you missed that video, let me bring up that chart. That was the Tezos chart when it announced staking. This is what I was referencing. This was in November 2019. Where is that on this chart? Let's see. November 2019 for Tezos, right around here, right? So from this area, it just saw some really nice gains. And I am convinced if COVID didn't happen, that it would have consolidated somewhere in this area, right? Even where it is right now. But obviously COVID happened, it came back down, and then we started seeing gains again for Tezos. But we use this data because this is how markets react to things like this happening. And this was Tezos staking, seeing those 300% gains or so. And we're applying that. We're not saying it's definitely going to happen, but we're applying that to Cardano. Cardano, cryptocurrency markets in general, we've really kind of made a turn, right? We're approaching this environment where markets are looking bullish. We're putting in a lot of bullish indicators, long-term bullish indicators. This isn't like, necessarily something that's going to end in a week or two. This is long-term. This is cyclical stuff. So that is that. We're talking about 50 cents for the short to midterm. We are. There will be throwbacks along the way, but that is kind of the short to midterm target with everything going on in the next couple months. Now, with that being said, I do want to just get this out of the way. This is important. This is accumulation in an upward, uptrend, bullish environment. What does that look like for Cardano? Because the best thing I can tell you is be very careful when accumulating any cryptocurrency, especially when you're seeing these huge gains on these charts, right? So do what you feel is comfortable, but always be prepared for throwbacks. And we're looking at Cardano. This is my heavy buy area if I were to accumulate heavily for Cardano, right? From that swing low back in June to currently where we are, I would say this area, this Fibonacci retracement area could potentially happen. And this is like that 9 cents down to 8 cents area. I'm not saying it's going to happen, just throwing it out there. Be prepared for it. Don't get overhyped. Don't be over bullish where you're just overly confident. That is the last thing you want to do. It happens time and time again in these markets. Even in a bull markets, people get overly confident and they miss those 30% dips or so, and they miss an opportunity to accumulate in a bullish environment. So we could see bullish continuation, right? If Cardano did come back down, it could keep going up. It could be bullish, but just be prepared for it. That's out of the way. Let's talk about more of the short-term stuff. So what's been happening on the charts is this. It's just been higher highs and higher lows since that swing low all the way back in March. And what we look for on the daily chart is overextension from this 50 moving average. This is how we do technical analysis on this channel. This is how we've really been tracking Bitcoin. It's been so helpful through all of these markets, through these cycles. And here we are, 55% overextension from this first swing high, right? This was back in April for Cardano, before finally just consolidating, cooling off a little bit, right? We like to see that, trading into that 50-day moving average before continuation up. Now we got almost 80% overextension on that next run, cooling off period, consolidation into the 50 moving average, the blue line, and then again, 70% gains. Most recently, what has happened in the last couple weeks, again, consolidation for Cardano going into this 50-day moving average, and here we are. The story is being told of higher highs and higher lows in a very bullish Cardano. So what can we anticipate? There's a bunch of things on the charts to anticipate, and I'm going to throw them out there for you. So on the upside, and I want to go over to a 6-hour chart, there's a couple things happening that I'm watching. Number one is this. In these higher highs and higher lows since March, there's been some interesting patterns, namely ascending triangles and symmetrical triangles. So obviously, I have charted here a symmetrical triangle. But along the way, a lot of different things have been happening. So let's go to this first swing high back in April. You see a couple things. You do see a symmetrical triangle there, but at the same time, you do see Cardano after this swing high kind of seeing a little resistance at the same time at this area. This was like right around 5.5 cents. Obviously, we kind of cruised above it a little bit a couple times, but there was kind of this trend line I think you could place here, and you have kind of this ascending triangle confluent with that symmetrical triangle. It's not perfect, but you can see Cardano really consolidating and not making a huge, just obvious breakout out of a symmetrical triangle, right? Same thing here. You see Cardano swing high here, another swing high right around here, just slightly above, coming over here, another swing high, resistance there, another little resistance here, right? So we have kind of a trend line there, confluent with, again, a symmetrical triangle, and at the same time, we do have an ascending triangle. So this kind of thing keeps happening. So something to look out for on the 6-hour chart would be something similar. Obviously, again, I have the symmetrical triangle charted, but we have this area right here, swing high. We have a swing high here, right? I know this wick's a little higher, but if you kind of, let me zoom in here and just give you my mindset. And this is how I chart. You might not like it, but I don't think charts are exact, especially in the volatile cryptocurrency markets. So we have a wick here, right? But then we have a close here. And you kind of want to take the average of the two. And we can call this a type of trend line resistance, right? You could also chart it where this is a swing high. It's a higher, this would be a lower high, right? So you can chart it down, but I think you can also take the average of both. And if we extend this across now to where we are literally right now, you have this happening right now. Can Cardano break this upper trend line? Because if not, this could potentially be, once again, another type of ascending triangle confluent with a symmetrical triangle running in it. Do you see what I'm saying? And this has happened at every swing high previously on our way here. So I'm not trying to take bullishness away. This is an area we watch literally right now, today, in the next 24 hours. Does Cardano see continuation through this trend line? That would be very bullish if we get some separation. Or does Cardano kind of see something like this, what happened back in the end, towards the end of June, where everybody's kind of just enjoying some gains, and we get that upper trend line resistance and come back down, which requires more patience before we get the true breakout. That would look something like this, right? Maybe even testing the upper trend line of the symmetrical triangle after this breakout that we just had. So boom, and then boom, right? And then we're in August with the true breakout that I think many of you want, Cardano making its way to 20 cents. So now if we go to the 6 hour and we look at just the symmetrical triangle, this is what that might look like. The symmetrical triangle has a breakout target right to around 16 cents or so. And you can see we've broken the upper trend line of the symmetrical triangle. And interestingly enough, we are currently 72% to the apex of this triangle. We know based on data we use on this YouTube channel, 73% to the apex of these symmetrical triangles is where we look for some type of breakout. And you can see almost right on Cardano making a break out of the symmetrical triangle. But I did mention 62%. I mentioned a throwback, and 62%, according to the same data we use for these breakout areas, 73% breakout, 62% of the time we get a throwback to at least the upper trend line of the triangle. So we're talking around just over 12 cents. And if that happened in the very short term, like immediately from here, we're looking at like an 8% throwback for Cardano potentially to happen. And that would really spell out this type of scenario where we're kind of starting to really put in this ascending triangle that we want to track. That's something we will track on this channel. But this is where we are right now. Cardano could very well see continuation. At the end of the day, I cannot help myself but revisit these Tezos charts, look at everything going on with Cardano, and even if there is an environment where we're getting a dip right now, coming back down a little bit, it just looks bullish to me, right? And I've been saying that, and it's just one of those altcoins. Somebody commented on a video of mine, and they asked maybe why I don't cover Litecoin as much. And I just mentioned, I'm not married to any altcoin. Cardano has so much on its roadmap, in its timeline, in the next few months, and it's just bullish to me. And there's just a lot going on, and I like it, and it's been a really good play. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think the next move is for Cardano? I appreciate you coming by. If you're here, you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you very much. Hit the like button on the way out too. That'll make my Saturday. I'll see you all in the next video. Have an awesome day, and God bless.